Well, good morning and welcome to Tabletop Tap Room again. I'm Tom, aka Gedeon, your host. Pull up a bar stool, order a drink, and we've got some breaking news on the Nu TSR front. And let's just get right into that. What's going on with the TSR New Star Frontiers release? So here we are. They've actually updated their website at the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum on their Star Frontiers New Genesis product. And I can't help but think that this must have been because I called them out in a previous video and said they were full of crap and they were just showing off a fake product for the purpose of faking things out in court when they are challenged on the copyright. So suddenly we now have photos of a real, because I suggested, I says, if you had a real product, you just take a picture with your iPhone and put it up there. And so here we go. This is what we got. But I'm looking at this, and the first thing I notice is the comb binding here. Now, I order a lot of stuff off of Drive-Thru RPG that's print on demand, and I'm kind of getting spoiled by that, and my standards are a little bit higher. This was something I did 15, 20 years ago when I would run a PDF down to the local Staples or Office Max and get it printed, comb bound or spiral bound. And I'm thinking that's what they did here. My guess, they, and it's, you'll see in the next picture. Let's just bring that up. So they've put it together like there's multiple things in the box. This is just two copies of the same rules. They just stacked two copies of the same rules there. Like it was as if it was in the box. Again, identical covers. It's just two copies of the game rules. And then dice in a bag, which they just pulled off a shelf somewhere. As if you're getting this. Now, so again, we're back to the fake product, non-product, and they're just doing a fake out. Now, what's really interesting is they did release an image of the character record sheet, Star Frontiers New Genesis character record sheet. Now, this is really interesting. Let's talk about this. So up here in the general data, you've got the character's name, player's name, his class, red flag, character level, red flag, starting occupation, no flag on that. And then your age, sex, and, eyes, hair, color, skin color, and so on. And then we come down here, physical data. Now, this is interesting, and it makes me laugh. Strength, dex, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. We've heard of this game before. It's called Dungeons & Dragons. This is D&D. Now, I kind of laugh at the physical data when wisdom is physical data and charisma is physical data. I don't know. Why'd you call it physical data? Physical data really applies to the physical stats, strength, dex, constitution. And then you've got your mental stats, and your charisma is kind of a, oddball that could go either way. So this is the character sheet. And what this tells me is they don't have a clue what they are doing. They have so misread the community that, maybe they're like, man, we don't care. We don't care anymore. Screw the community. Screw the OSR. Screw everybody. We're going to do what we're going to do. Hey, their marketing plan is their marketing plan. But, you had plenty of people, if you had produced the right product, who would have bought. And if you had, and they're totally missing the boat. So it's Star Frontiers in name only, but it's really D&D with the Star Frontiers name on it, calling it New Genesis. The previous information we had about the player characters, it's gonna suck hard like a Hoover vacuum cleaner, and not in a good way. Now, again, this is really interesting. So you go on the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum store and you find this, and it's retailing for $39.99. But if you go to the TSR Hobbies website, track down their website, and check out their products, they're selling the Star Frontiers New Genesis for $29.99, $10 less. But when you click on products on the TSR site, it redirects you to the Dungeon Hobby Museum. So you go on there and go, dude, man, $29.99, but then you end up at the Dungeon Hobby Shop site where it's $39.99. So they're kind of advertising it for one price, but then really, really selling it for $10 more. Interesting little thing going on with that, but I don't know. I don't know that anybody's going to buy it, so I don't know that anybody could charge them with false advertising. So one more interesting thing while I happen to be on the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum website. TSR Wheel of Fate spinner, new product just released. And yet, I don't know if you could see this here, back ordered, already out of stock. So what this is basically is a plastic wheel, multiple layer plastic wheel, and you can't see them because they're spinning in the video there. Little triangular shaped teeth. You flick it with your finger, it starts spinning, and then you tap the surface by the word fate there, and it just does a little friction stop, a little friction break of the wheel, and stops on numbers, which are D100, D20, D10, D8. Apparently no D6, no D4, because, you've never used D4, D6. I don't know. So only those numbers. And notice the price up here, $25 for a piece of plastic. This reminds me of Games Workshop. Gotta charge big bucks for a piece of plastic. I don't see anybody buying this. It's a gimmick. It's more the type of swag thing you give out at a convention, maybe, but I don't see anybody buying it for $25. Just not gonna happen. Well, my stepson bought metal dice. He just got into D&D. He's a grown adult, so he saw some metal dice, milled metal dice, and he stepped up and dropped some cash on that. And he loves his dice. They're metal. They're chunky. You throw them, you throw something. You could probably wound a lead miniature with them. But he was happy to spend that money. I don't see him spending $25 for the Wheel of Fate. Not going to happen. But new product, interesting. I think it's foolish, but it is what it is. Good job, TSR, on that Wheel of Fate. $25 for plastic. So to sum up, they still have a fake product. I still don't believe it's a real product, and I don't care what the photo shows. That spiral bound rule books, and they just stacked two of them there for the photo op, like there's going to be multiple things in the box set, which is a joke, again, and the random dice bag and dollar store dice. You can go down to the dollar store and buy D&D dice for $1. But they're going to give you a set in the box set. Cool. And by cool, I mean, what a joke. So it's just more of the same. And the character sheet was very enlightening. It's D&D. It's D&D with a Star Frontiers name. It's Star Frontiers. There's no IP. It's Star Frontiers in name only, without the IP, without anything that made Star Frontiers great. It's just going to be their version of Starfinder, I guess. Just D&D converted to sci-fi. And why would you play that when you could go out and buy really nice products off of drive-thru, like Stars Without Number, which is BXD&D converted to a sci-fi setting? A much better game. I love Stars Without Number. Great rule set. um, and it more of a traveler feel to it, more of a lost imperium has degenerated into barbarism, and you're rediscovering stuff out there. I like their setting, and it's what why would you play this when you could play Stars Without Number? Great game. Um, but that's that. More foolishness from TSR. Thanks, guys. I needed the laugh. And again, don't trust the company. They're jokers. I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. Already caught them in a major lie when they were lying to me that Larry Elmore was involved. I send messages to Larry Elmore. Hey, dude, you involved in this? I'm just looking for confirmation. Because they got squirrely at TSR when I asked the question. And Larry Elmore's like, no. And then he comes back with, oh, hey, they just contacted me today. So, after I outed them for their lie, then they turned around and contacted him. So, again, bad product. I wouldn't, even if they came out with it before Christmas, I still wouldn't buy it. And I would forbid my wife from buying it. Be like, do not buy this. I don't care if it's got Star Frontier's name on it. I don't want it. What a joke. So that's where we're at with the Nu TSR. Needed the laugh, boys. Thank you. So, Tom, Tabletop Taproom signing out. Go ahead and give me a like, a bell icon, and a subscribe if you can, because it helps out with the algorithm. And keep on gaming.